like
Woo.
That's my boo. That's my boo.
All right, now you got me nervous. My name is Will and I'm at. Really grateful to be clean today. I truly mean that. I first really want to thank this home group for inviting me out here. You know, like she said, I started coming to this meeting on Zoom, and it was at the critical time of not just my life, but the world's life. You know, people didn't even think that Narcotics Anonymous was going to survive, but they say we don't die, we multiply. You know, and that's the reality. You know, my experience was, you know, I make meetings. You know, that's part of who I am. Most of these people in here could say that came over here from Vancouver. Most of them could say I was at their first meeting. You know? It ain't like something. It's my job. You know, it's just I ain't nowhere else to go. I go to a fucking meeting. You know, and I can sit there and learn how to tell my truth. You know, and I really want to thank this home group for helping me get through COVID. It was a really rough time, and people didn't realize that at the time when that COVID was hitting us, you know, people was not willing to get on Zoom. People were scared of one another, so people were sitting back waiting for it to go back the way it was. And little do they know, they ain't gonna never go back the way it was. You ain't never going back the way you was. You might think in your mind, I can run down that street there, you know, I can climb that hill. Sit around for a while, you know, you ain't gonna be able to do that shit. So if everything does stay or stay the same or go back the way it was. We have to learn in Narcotics Anonymous. It taught me how to adapt to myself, my surroundings, you know, and what I have learned from COVID, people just only looked at one side of it. COVID was amazing. It put, you know, that's when my higher power started working in my life and other people's lives without their permission. It was no longer that, I don't want to go around that motherfucker. After a while, you had to stay home with that motherfucker, you know. And after a while, you had to start, you know, learning how to, you know, finding out that you don't really like that person, you know. So COVID changed, but what it did, you know, it made us self-aware, you know. And a lot of times, and that's when my higher power started doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. You know, just like if you're in a bad relationship, you know, you don't want to leave it. You know, you don't know how to get out of it. You know, COVID did that shit for you. You find out, oh, I love this motherfucker. I'm just so much in love. You know, and come to find you can't stand that motherfucker. Really, the way he put the toilet paper on the roll. You know, simple as that. You know, like I said, after a while, you found out that how possessive somebody is, how lazy somebody is. You know, before, you know, it's all about, for me, what Narcotics Anonymous did was to give me the ability to become self-aware. To find out that I'm only human. I don't, just because I got clean, you know, I used to say this in all my speaker meetings. When I first got clean, I'm going to tell you, you know, I thought that shit was a superpower, you know, but it was in the wrong, different way. I thought I could go down to the electric company and say, I dare you to cut my electric off. I'm in Narcotics Anonymous. They all they looked at me and said, that ain't gonna work here. You know? But what the Narcotics Anonymous taught me was to become responsible, productive members of society. You know, understanding that I don't have no control. You know, and it talks about that when I learned that in my first step. You know, I'm sorry if, you know, like I don't get into my back history. You know, that what brought me here. I'm trying to tell you what keeps me here. You know, and that's what they said. I need to come in here and talk about not how fucked up I was, but how do I change and what the processes I'm going through to get it. You know, and what I have learned was that I start allowing people to process. you know. And the hardest thing for me to do was allowing people to be assholes, you know. That was hard. I need to tell you how fucked up you is, you know. I mean, this is my truth. I only came up here to tell my truth, you know, and I wasn't able to do that because I didn't want, you know, I wanted everybody to like me, you know, because I didn't know how to like myself, you know. They tell me that best way to carry a message is by example, you know. I'm like, example? How did you be an example? My sponsor said, look in the mirror, be an example to what you see in that mirror. That's where you start at. If you want to change something, change what's in the fucking mirror. You know, you powerless over everything else around you. You know, I mean, like it's here. You know, I got here. You know, most of my people that came out here from Vancouver know my story. You know, I'm almost 10 and a half years with a transplant heart. You know, and that was a reality, you know, when it was happening. You know, they told me that shit 30 years ago. You know, your life, your heart is so bad, you're gonna need a transplant. And then they told me everything I had to go through, you know, when they diagnosed me that I had, you know, congestive heart failure, you know. I said, They say, well, you're gonna have to take this much medicine, you know, you're gonna lose this, you can't do this, you can't do that. I say, oh, hell no. That shit's interfering with my, you know, with me getting high. Fuck that. You give that to somebody that needs it, you know. So I got clean. My clean date is January 25th, 2011. You know, I mean, that's when I made that decision, you know, and I didn't even know it was a decision. You know, it was y'all that brought me in here. Every time you make the serenity prayer and you see somebody walk in your meeting new or somebody come in there broken, that's how it happens. Whoa. That's the magic we talk about in Narcotics Anonymous. You know, everybody think, well, I just got off the plane. I think I go to Narcotics Anonymous and see how them guys in there. I ain't seen nobody yet come in here like that. They all come in here broken, lost, confused, scared, lonely, and that's what kept me isolated. You know, I didn't know that when I got here. I know my first meeting I went to, I knew I needed to go to a meeting, but I didn't know what to do. I walked in that meeting, I sat down with my arms crossed like this here, mean mugging everybody. I'm bad. What? Yeah, what you looking at me for? I'm bad. Little do they know I was scared as shit, you know. And they was in there laughing and joking, and I kept hearing everybody laugh. I look around, because I think they laughing at me, you know. And so they say, see, my disease start talking to them. They say, see, they laughing at you. Because you don't know how to stay clean, and they got a secret in there. You know, they got some magic pill. Stick around here and find that pill, you know, so you can laugh too. That's the only thing that kept me here, because they said, to be honest, to be truthful, the first thing that attracted me to Narcotics Anonymous was that they said, oh, come on in, we're going to love you till you learn how to love yourself. You know, it don't cost nothing. It's free, it's, you know. I said, all I heard was free. I like free shit, you know. I'm gonna get some of this free shit, you know. That's all I know to do is take, you know. I never wanted to do the work, you know, for the labor. I never wanted to do that until I got here, you know. And that was another trick when they told me that, you know, this shit is free, don't cost nothing, you know, you deserve it and all that shit. That shit wasn't free. I had to work my motherfucking ass off to change just the behavior of my self-centeredness. The thing that I started becoming aware of was that I was becoming aware of myself. You know, when I read in that step working guide, you know, please, if you ever pick that book up, read it from the first page. It's not there just for, you know, the show, the other door open. You know, that first page talks about, you know, the questions in the book. You know, because people say, well, I don't understand this question. You don't want to understand yourself. The questions is designed for you to provoke a thought about yourself. Because people say, this is my truth. I got a lot of sponsees. You know, they come in with all this elaborate shit, you know, about a definition. They thought they were cheating, went and got a definition out of the dictionary or off soft book or some shit like that there and bring it to them. I say, that is not you. What the fuck is that? Read the question again. It said, have you. It didn't say, do a they, you know, and stuff like that there. The narrative is written in the we version. That means everybody can use it when it says we. But to answer them, it means you, you know. So people, you know, tend to not hear what the program is doing. It's only designed to change you. What keeps this program together is the we, the unity, you know, that this program has given us. You know, but they say we can't do this shit alone. I heard when I first got here, they say, if you ever fortunate enough to get this, or get a little piece of mine, you have a responsibility to give it back. Whoa. Hell no. I work hard for my shit. You better do like I did. Get your ass in them books and start working on yourself and give it to you. But I didn't know that the more I gave, the more I received. You know, I wouldn't be standing up here, you know, if it wasn't for these members in the program. I mean, I had people come up to see that when I had a transplant, you know. I also got a kidney transplant, you know, and stuff like that there, you know. And today is my son's birthday, who passed away, you know. And, you know, that's just part of my story. And I got through that clean, you know. All my family is reaching out to me, are you all right? You all right? They asked me that today, and all these, you know, messages, you know, and they making it about me. I ain't dead. You know, ask me, am I all right? I wouldn't be all right, you know. I'm alive today. I'm living my best fucking life. What is wrong with you? You know, it's not about me. If, you know, if you want to have some grace or some gratitude, think about him. You're thinking about me, you know. I am celebrating his life. Ooh. That's what it's called, a celebration of life. When you go to these places, that's to recognize that these people have lived. Ooh. You know, and so it's not a loss to me. People first think they're gone, or I'm lost without them, and this and that, like somebody took something away from you. What they can't take away from you is your memories. Wow. The time that you spent with another person. Wow. The time you sat in these meetings beside somebody that's crying and hurting, you know, and all of a sudden you want to come in here, and this is when you see it the most and see the magic happen, is when you come in the meeting, you all pissed off about the damn trash bag busting and falling all down the steps, and now you got to clean that shit up. That's responsibility. It wasn't like God tested me, you know, God tested me, you know, this shit here. Like I said, ain't nobody touching your ass. You know, what I know today is that you have an opportunity to practice what you learn. Wow. How would you practice something if you don't have a situation? People look at this stuff as, I just had a bad fucking day, you know. Be grateful that you woke the fuck up today. To have a day. Seriously, you know, like I said, I'm celebrating my son's life. Because now I get to, you know, he walked through this shit with me through all this. You know, I share this story all the time about when they told me that I had to have a heart, you know, I had the heart transplant. They tried 3 times. I had 4 open heart surgeries. You know, first time they opened my heart up, they told me that this electric pump is a temporary fix. You know, and I have been in a point in my recovery where I had learned acceptance. You know, now I want to live. You know, but it's my responsibility not to tell the doctors how to work, you know, which I used to do. No, that thing right there, you're doing it wrong. I'm a fucking professional. I'm a professional of fucking my life up, excuse my language, but that's the reality. I'm a professional at that. But to fix myself, I have no power over that. That's that first step, acceptance, surrendering, you know, and allowing people to be of service. That's why, like, when these people are working on me, all I'm looking at them like, they're just service workers. You know, I know how service work. I do that, you know, and stuff like it's just service work, you know. And then I feel better about it. It's just not there, not those big eyes, the little U's. I'm a situation for them to practice what they know. You know, because that's the way it works. You know, and becoming like that, it wasn't easy. My son, you know, I was up there. They tried three times. And the first time they did, they put it in, it didn't work right. They took it out and put another one in. They say, it got clogged. They say, the only way we can fix it is put another one in. I said, come on with it. I've been through the process, so I ain't like, what you going to do? But how long it's going to take? You know, come on with that shit, you know. I want to live today, fuck that. That's my responsibility.
Word.
You know, and so they put that one in, you know, and that one didn't work right, you know. And then they say, well, Mr. Channel, we can't keep opening you up like this, you know, and we are going to put you on the transplant list. I said, oh, fuck, you know. I didn't have a whole lot of gratitude then, but I said, oh, fuck. I said, I got 3 strikes against me. I ain't got no money. You know, I'm an addict, and I'm black. Them 3 things don't add up to no fucking transplant from where I come from. You know, so I sit back there and just beat myself up, you know, and my sponsor say, turn it over. Are you practicing your first step? That's all he ever did to me, mostly was, you know, what part you playing at and what is your motives? You know, and shit, you know, and seriously, and when he did that shit, you know, I say, man, you crazy. You know, I said, this person stole from me. You know, I'm trying to be pissed off. This person stole from me. He said, stole from me? How do you do that? I said, he just stole from me. He said, what part you playing at? I said, what part? I'm the victim. That's the part I play. He said, well, what was your motive? You know, I said, what, my motives? You know, I'm trying to help somebody out, you know, and stuff like that. And then, you know, I went home and I thought about it. And then he called me, you know, next day I talked to him. He said, you avoided me. Would you found your motives? I said, yeah. So what it was this young lady, right? That was the truth. It was this young lady. I was trying to get something, you know, going on. Trying to show up a baller. You know, I can pay your electric for you. I'm a baller, you know, and stuff like that there. And then, you know, and, he said, oh, that's your fucking motive. So I say, so I had to learn to start looking at everything I do is motivated by something. That's what motives are. It's the motivation you put into doing something. You know, it's not just about all of a sudden you do something. It's motivated by something. Your defects, that's why they call them shortcomings. Your defect is there, but what is it motivated by? That's when it becomes a shortcoming, when you put it into action. You know, all these things here, it didn't make sense when I first got here. Like I said, I'm going to get back to my son, right? So I'm up there, so then I say, well, look here. I have to go back down, back down to Vancouver because I'm celebrating my 3 years coming. You know, I got 3 years. That's a big fucking deal. They say, oh yeah, that's nice, that's nice. They say, stay by the phone. I say, cool, well, yeah, all right, yeah. I know I ain't got my doctor's appointment to 2 weeks from now. I said, oh, that's cool, yeah, that's cool, that's cool. And so I get down there, so my birthday is January the 25th, okay? Celebrate, there's a room full of people like this here, this many people is at that celebration, that then I'm all home, you know, soaking in that shit, you know how you eat that shit up, that attention, you know, that attention-seeking shit that we don't worry about. We think we're so important at that time. You know, it's just that people are reaching out and showing their love. But in my mind, that's attention-seeking. I'm so important. They like me, you know. And that's seriously, this is where I became self-aware of myself, you know. So, you know, on the 29th, they called me like 2 o'clock in the morning and said, hey, Mr. Chandler, we need you back here at ASP. I said, what? My doctor appointment ain't till next week. He said, no, we found the heart for you. I said, what? I said, yeah, we found the heart for you. We need you back here. I said, well, okay, you know. So I told, you know, so I said, okay. So then me and my son, we packing this shit up. He walked through this whole thing with me. You know, I've been in coma. You know, I was in a coma for 2.5 months. You know, got out of that coma. I had to learn how to walk and talk, and that was the worst part of my life. Was when they took that tube out of my mouth and I couldn't talk. I was so butthurt. I was like, what am I doing Narcotics Anonymous and I can't talk? Fuck that, fuck Narcotics Anonymous, you know. But now I can't talk, you know. And stuff, you know, so that's not true. So then I had to learn how to walk, talk, eat, and then, you know, the process of surrendering and letting go and having faith is when this process happened for me. It was part of the healing process. I had to go through all that stuff. So me and my son, we on our way up to Seattle, you know, and the whole time, he in the car talking about, you all right, Dad? You okay? I said, yeah, I'm okay, I'm all right. Another 10 miles, you all right, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm okay, you know. Then he said, Dad, I said, man, won't you shut the hell up? Then you get me upset, you're making me mad and stuff, right? So when we get there, he said, Dad, you know, I'm proud of you. I say, thank you, you know. I say, well, I need to tell you this right now. I say, if I die on that table, I'm gonna die clean. That's the ultimate thing any addict can do, is to die clean. Woo! We're not getting out of here alive. Don't even trip on it. It's what you do in between now and then that matters. You follow what I'm saying? That's what they're talking about, integrity. You know? It ain't about, I can come up here and tell you about, I did drugs for 40 fucking years. You ask me what my drug of choice was? Your shit. That's the shit I like the best. You know? I'm telling you, your shit. I would not, you'd have heard it, everybody that got that same story. I steal your shit and help you look for it. Everybody done did that shit. So we're not unique around here. People think they come in here and sell their story, and nobody got a story like them. The only thing they're not realizing is that a story is just like an asshole. Everybody got one. Stick around here long, you're going to hear some shit come out of it. So, you know, they're not unique because some shit come out of them. They're what they call not normal people, they're regular fucking people. You know, but we look at them as normies. You know, the only thing they're doing is regular shit, which was so difficult for addicts to do normal. So we complicate this fuck out of anything. Yeah. It's complicated, but it's so simple. You know? And people ask me, you know, do you know what God's will is? No. It's never said nothing in the book about God's will. It's actually in the book what God's will is for me. What is God's will for me? It's to be happy, joyous, and free. Wow. Free from my insanity. Free from my pain, that self-inflicting pain that I cause myself. That's what he wants for me. But like I said, I have to have the power to carry that out. First thing I have to do is, like you say, do a thorough first step. You know, like I said, I thought I would come up here, you know, and get into that whole, you know, story about how, you know, all that old shit. What I did, I listened to 2 of my tapes before, and I say, damn, I ain't got to talk about that. I talk about it all the time. You know? But what I need to talk about, how the program is working in my life and where I'm at today. You know, so what I did learn, you know, since I've been here, is that, oh, okay, so, like I said, my son, you know, he passed away, you know, through my whole process of all this when I was in a coma. He came up to that hospital and sat by my side through that whole, you know, 2 months every day. Some days he didn't go home, just waiting for me to wake up, you know. And, you know, when I did, I didn't know who I was, where I was, and how the fuck did I get there, you know. Because to me, I mean, I'm going to give you a crash course on just like people talk about they had this bad fucking dream, you know. A dream is nothing but a process of putting shit in the files that everything you see is going to be foul.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you remember it, but it's putting in a file so you can, if you need to recall it. You know, what I know about dreams, if I could control my dreams, I wouldn't wake the fuck up. Fuck to come to this shit. Man, shit, I dream about being on the beach and on the yachts and all that kind of. Why would I wake the fuck up? You gotta go to work. Gotta change Pampers. You know, deal with social workers. All that kind of. Man, fuck that. I'll stay asleep. But that's not reality. You know, but what I do know is that I had when I was in that coma, I was not dead. My mind was 24/7, you know, and that was the hardest part, was to separate the reality from the dream, you know, and stuff like that. And I had to have my son recall some things about myself, but I was dreaming all kinds of shit. It was just like I was every day, like I wasn't even in a coma, you know, and stuff. And it was good, it was bad, it was crazy, but it's just what we do, you know. So anyway, I know. Today, you know, I have learned how to start living in my reality. That's something that I never thought that could happen for me. You know, I thought that my reality was always to be a loser. You know, like in that daily meditation where they talked about, you know, the best part about it that stuck out to me was that I don't have to be right, I just could be better. I'm not striving to be right. I'm not striving. I hear people talk about, well, I don't work a perfect program. You ain't supposed to. You're not fucking perfect. How the fuck would you work a perfect program? There's no such thing. But what you do, you get to live the program. You work steps to understand them, to comprehend them, so you can apply them. It's really hard to fix a fucking car if you never worked on a car. That fucker broke and you open it up and say, that shit don't work. It don't work like that. You got to have some kind of knowledge of what you're doing, you know, or have that magic thing that works in this program. Ask for some help.
Woo.
You know, if you don't know, ask somebody. You know, and then you have the power to take the advice or not. You know, that's another one I used to when I first got clean. I had abused myself so bad, I was walking on it with a cane when I came to Narcotics Anonymous.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't hardly breathe and all that kind of stuff, you know. And today I don't have that cane. I walked in the hospital with a cane, and I came out there without a cane.
Nice.
You know, and that was a power of, you know, that's a power of working in my life. That's something that I couldn't do for myself, but I had to do my part. People think that you can sit around here and think that God, because you got faith and belief, is going to take care of everything that you're supposed to do. No. He's going to do for you what you can't do for yourself. You know, that's how much power my higher power got. And if yours not, if yours, you know, ain't that powerful, you can use some of mine, but mine's got it all. Shit. You know, they say get one of your understanding. You know, and so it's not that, you know, my secret is that it's the same motherfucker. You call him, he's like, you call him Jehovah, you call him Buddha, you call him Allah, Jesus, God. It's the same person. Even like I said, you don't care if you call him shit, just call him.
Word.
Yeah.
That's all. You know, how would you do that? Like I said, when my addiction, my addiction concentrated on me because I was like a demolition crew. I fucked up so many people's lives instead of my addiction going around with all these people. Fuck Will up. He can fuck all these. He'll take care of that whole table over there. That's less work on my addiction. You know? Now in Narcotics Anonymous, it's the same way. They say when we carry the message, you know, and the message is hope. It's all I got to give to another person is hope. You know, I thought I had to come in and get people clean. You know, that was one of my stories, you know. I could go in early recovery, going on paddles, and, you know, got 2 months, 3 months clean. I see somebody on the corner, you know, all down or nod and say, hey, motherfucker, get up off your ass. Come on, go with me. I'm going to get you clean. You know, I know what you need. I bring him into me. I say, I brought this motherfucker over here to get clean, you know. And they look at me and say, no, sir. you keep coming back, but you don't understand. You ain't got no power over that person. You keep coming back, think you're going to get somebody clean. So they say the best way to carry the message by example, and I said that earlier. That's how I learned how to practice it. Then after a while, it becomes second nature to be this person that you have truly always been. They say when it says in our literature, the mass has got to go, and we got to put down the walls. The walls is what separate me from what I can get and what this program got to offer. The mass is for me to keep continuing on lying to myself and lying to you. And that's nothing but a mask. But when I can take that mask down and be able to come up here and tell my truth, and this is all it is. It ain't like, people say, oh, he's so intelligent. All I did was read the damn book and shit, but ain't nothing in that book that I created. But even though this is how magical the book was to me, I open that thing up right now, if I open that book up right now, damn, I didn't see that. When they write this shit, it keeps rewriting itself.
Yeah.
And people don't know why. You know why it keeps rewriting itself? Because you keep educating yourself. You're getting to understand what these words are about. It's hard, like I said, it's hard to put something together. I was sharing at the meeting earlier today at a nooner. They say, oh, God tested me, I got all these things going on. I say, hey, Tess, you just getting an opportunity, to practice what you already fucking know. It ain't like all of a sudden you don't know. I got a couple spots he said is in here now. They tell you, first assignment I gave them was, what do you think a man looks like to you? They come back here with all this elaborate good shit, that's nice. Oh, yeah, right. And they look at me and say, well, emulate that guy. Well, I don't know how. No, you just ripped the fuck down it. Don't tell me that you don't know. Now, over here is how you apply it. Apply these principles in your life, and you become this person. Like I said, I was a very selfish, self-seeking person before I came to Narcotics Anonymous. And that was my truth. Now today, it's so far, I don't even know who the fuck I am sometimes. And all they are just them guys, they call them guy shots. When you do something and say, I don't know, why not just do that shit? You just carry somebody, all of a sudden you're impulsive to help somebody, and you don't know why. Because it ain't you. You're nothing but a vehicle of the higher power. My higher power works through y'all. So they say, get a support group. You should have seen me when I in early recovery. I wanted this shit so bad. They said, get a sponsor, get a home group, get a support group. Go to meetings regularly. So I'm checking this shit off like a checklist. I said, well, damn, I gotta find this home. It says support group. So I'm looking around, I'm looking at all the, can't find it nowhere. So I went there and got off my high horse and asked somebody. I said, where's the support group at? What did I say? He said, what? I said, where is the support group at? He said, don't you know anybody in here? I said, yeah, I know a lot of people. He said, well, that's your support group. I said, oh, fuck. Ain't that a bitch? Because like I said, I thought it was a home group. It was just called a support group. A whole different thing. But what I do know, that day I didn't know, the next day I did.
Whoa.
See, that's what the program says. We're here to help you help yourself. People think that it's their sponsor responsibility to get them clean or change their lives. It says in the literature, all a sponsor is supposed to do is guide you through the steps. And if you're reading that step working guide, it says this is not recovery. This step working guide do not hold recovery. What it holds is an opportunity for you to become recovered. I ain't making that shit up. It's in the fucking book. And do like me. I thought I was so fucking hip and slick. I memorized all these readings real early in recovery. Like I could read, I know them all backwards and forwards. And I thought that shit was cool to grab a reading. And when it's my turn to read, taking it throw it on the floor and start reciting, you know. And everybody said, wow, he's really smart, wow, and all this shit. And then this guy had the audacity come up to me and say, do you know where that come from? I said, yeah, it's from the literature. He said, but do you know where it came from in the literature? I said, yeah, it's in the literature. He said, you don't know. I said, I know. He said, then he said, I know. I said, where it come from? He said, open the basic text. You know, he said, each one of these readings is a chapter in the book. Have you ever opened a book? First thing I said, yeah, I did. I never did. I never opened the book, so like I said, I only doing was that parakeet syndrome shit, you know, that we get around here. Come in here and say some good shit. I heard something in the meeting that was really nice, you know, some really spiritual stuff. Then I go to another meeting and say the same thing, and I get the same response. Oh, you're so smart. Yo, you're nice, you know. I love to eat that shit up, you know. Till this one day, this guy had the nerve to ask me, well, that was really good what you said, but how do you do that? I'm like, huh? What? He caught me off guard. I say, well, you need to get a book and educate yourself. And I stopped doing that shit, you know. That's my truth today. So then I start understanding it's all about not how much you know, it's about how much you apply what you know. It says this program is so simple. You can apply it in every area of your life. You ain't got to know the whole book. People think that if they work a step, answer the questions, they don't work the step. No, the step is, what works in the step is the principles. Each step has a principle. That's what you're working. I ain't never seen a fucking question get somebody clean or keep them clean. But the question is actually about yourself. Next time you look at it, you can say, damn, I've never seen that before. And so, you know, seriously, when you look at it, it's going to blow your fucking mind. Because it's all about you. You know, you are your recovery. You know, and some people grasp it earlier and some doesn't. They say, you know, it's the way of the world. You know, there's no such thing as everybody go in classroom and get A's. Right. Or everybody get D's. No. Like I said, some are smarter than others. Some are lazier than others. You know, but it's all about the potentials that you have. But if you got it in front of you, you have the same opportunity as the next. You know, it's only when you apply. You know, and learning how to allow other people to process. Not be that judgmental person, you know, that think that they better than. You know, but this says it even says in the literature, you know, be careful. You know, that person that you are having resentment from and downing might be your fucking sponsor. Because they might grasp this shit before you do, but you're still sitting in self-will. Not willing just to do what somebody else is doing. You know, so, I mean, man, like I said, okay. So, I can just say that it was truly an honor to put faces, you know, on, you know, with these women that they don't know, they truly don't know who saved my fucking life. You know, when I needed a meeting. They were there, you know, and like I said, Narcotics Anonymous is no fucking paycheck for this shit. You know, it ain't like your therapist or your doctors. They get paid what they do. You know, like I had a situation this week, you know, on I-5. You know, they had a 9-mile backup, you know, and it's going to be there for a couple of months, you know. Before that shit would have pissed me the fuck off. I would have been upset. I mean, kicking the steering wheel and hitting the window and every fucking thing, you know, just because I want to get angry for the traffic's not going the way I wanted to go. I sat that damn traffic because I get paid to drive. So I'm sitting there driving, and the people I'm driving, you know, I drive a C-van. The people behind me, they just so upset. I'm being late for work. I hate this damn city. I can find everything just to complain. Yeah. And stuff like I said. And then to realize is that how would I be upset like I'm the only one sitting in this fucking traffic? You know? No. There's hundreds of motherfuckers sitting with me So it ain't like, oh, I've been singled out. They tested me. God tested me. Sit there, wait, right beside you. You know, and they ain't getting paid. That's the part I'm like, damn, sorry about your luck, you know. That's not, but I get paid. So, you know, gratitude is an action word. You know, we just don't say gratitude and then say, my name is Will, I'm an addict, and I'm grateful to be clean today. But this motherfucker over here just you know, oh man, I just can't stand this person. You know, and which I found out, it's not what you say, it's what you do. My attitude speaks louder than my words. You know, you come in a room and see somebody that's hurting, you know, and you can see it in their eyes, and you ask them how they doing, you know, and they say, I'm okay. You look at them and say, no, you're not. That's power. You know, you can feel people's joy, you know, when they thinking they're not supposed to be happy. Like the famous thing, I got my license, I got my kids back. You know, these things here, these miracles, you know, that happens in our lives, that is a part of a higher power working in your life. You know, and this here, that's without your permission. You know, I used to think that I had some control. You know, but I found out I was out of control. Fuck that shit. And then now in the day, I'm like, it's here. People say, I got too much on my plate. I look at shit, give me some of that shit, you know. I'm starving over here. I ain't got shit on my plate, because I ain't taking nothing that ain't gonna serve me. I'll put something on there, that's not gonna serve me. Most of the times we hear people talk about, well, it's not enough hours in the day. Who put it on your plate? You just didn't wake up in the morning and appear. No, you put that shit on there. You know, so what I know is that this was a hell of a turn, you know, and, you know, I was just being the vehicle that my higher power wants me to be. I think that's why it sounded good to me. You know, I don't know about y'all, but, you know, and like I said, it was my son's, you know, today was a day, you know, his birthday, he's in heaven. You know, my daughter, you know, I must mention her name because she's my biggest support. You know, when she told me if I ever relapse, she was going to kill me. Don't worry about the drugs killing me. If you ever, you know, if she said this program gave her back her dad, you know, and if I'd be selfish to take that away from her, she'd kill me. I'm scared of that lady. I think I'm going to stick around here. So, once again, I want to thank this home group. Thank y'all so much for saving my life, especially when I needed a meeting. Y'all were always here, you know, and it's good to put a face with these women that was sitting there, you know, and it was an intimate meeting. So, once again, my name is Will, and I am Mad.